Hi everyone, my name is Taylor McCartney, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about female circumcision. Now, before we get started, I want to say that I understand that this is a topic that could make most people squeamish, so I don't have any photos or videos of the actual act being performed. It'll just be people interviewed and their thoughts and opinions, but some parts do get a little hard to watch, so if you guys want to exit or get some air or something, you won't offend me. So, in our book, there's a quote that says, "There are, for example, women reducing oppression by circumcising their daughters. So if reducing one's gender, economic, social, and political oppression is obvious at such extreme levels, like circumcision and feet binding, then more subtle ways in which women reduce their own oppression must exist." Some key facts about female genital mutilation, or FGM, is that it includes procedures that intentionally alter or cause injury to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. The procedures have no health benefits to women or girls. Procedures can cause severe bleeding, problems urinating, and later cysts, infections, and complication in childbirth, and increased risk of newborn deaths. More than 200 million girls and women alive today have been cut in 30 countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia where FGM is concentrated. FGM is mostly carried out on younger girls between infancy and age 15. Now, the last bullet point that says that it's a violation of human rights of girls and women, that's subjective, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So according to the World Health Organization, there are 4 different types of female circumcision. Type 1 is called a clitorectomy, and this is the partial or total removal of the clitoris, and in very rare cases, the prepuce, which is the fold of skin surrounding the clitoris. The second type is excision, and that is the partial or total removal of the clitoris and the labia minora, with or without the excision of the labia majora. Type 3 is influbation, and that is the narrowing of the vaginal opening through the creation of a covering seal. The seal is formed by cutting and repositioning the labia minora or the labia majora, sometimes through stitching, and with or without the removal of the clitoris. And type 4 includes all other harmful procedures done to female genitalia, such as prickling, piercing, incisions, scraping, or cauterizing the genital area. So why do this horrific act? In Muslim cultures, the reason this topic is so controversial is because there are hadiths, teachings of the Prophet, that support circumcising a female, but these hadiths are considered weak, which means that they cannot be used to create an Islamic ruling based on the fact that it is not known if they came from the Prophet or not. The Quran, however, does not condemn female circumcision unless it compromises the health of the female. And type 1 is the only one allowed by Islam, which is the clitorectomy. This is the video that I would consider a little difficult to watch, so.
Now, it's a highly disturbing practice, illegal in Britain, yet hundreds of young African girls living here are still having their genitals mutilated against their will. The police say it's a form of child abuse and have launched a campaign against the practice. They fear girls are being taken back to African countries during the school summer holidays. We should warn you that June Kelly's report begins with scenes that some viewers may find distressing.
In Nairobi, 12-year-old Amina is about to undergo genital mutilation. It's being done with a razor blade. There's no anaesthetic. She'll have most of her clitoris removed. This was shot by a documentary team who decided to keep filming because they believed they couldn't stop the mutilation. In some African communities, it's demanded by men as a prerequisite for marriage. But now British police are warning that girls could be taken back to their parents' countries over the summer holidays to be subjected to this hidden crime. Families believing they'll be healed by the time they return to school.
It is unnecessary, it has grave health consequences, it is against all religions, but mainly it's against the law of this country. And anybody who wants to stay within our communities must abide by our laws.
Waris Deary was born in Somalia and became a top model. She's a leading campaigner. When she was 5, she was a victim.
My mother was the one who held me down. I believe she didn't have any choice because also men have a big part to play in this role to play. Because if the man is what the men say goes.
Campaigners know they have to change attitudes among community leaders and, crucially, the upcoming generation.
When I go back to Sudan, I make sure I'm going to tell all my cousins and all the younger generation to say no.
What if it was like my own mother or my own sister going through it? I do not want them to go through that pain.
But some will always have to live with the pain.
What can you do but you deal with it and make the best of it? Emotionally and physically and really spiritually, there is no escaping from it because it's always there.
June Kelly, BBC News.
And if you have any information about the practice, you can call the police in confidence on the Crime Stoppers number. It's 0800 555 111.
So then, according to the Muslims Women's League, this has tremendous significance in terms of the desirability of a young woman for marriage, which provides a major means for achieving economic strength and independence. Thus, being unsuitable for marriage further worsens a woman's ability to prosper. In addition, circumcision is believed to ensure cleanliness, chastity, and to minimize the sexual appetite of women, and thus reduce the likelihood that they will bring shame on themselves or their families through sexual indiscretions. The guarantee of a young woman's purity further enhances her attractiveness to potential suitors. Religious leaders in many of the communities that practice FGM also support the custom, linking the moral benefits listed above to religion. Therefore, a devoted believer who wants to carry out religious duties to his or her utmost is convinced that FGM is associated with righteousness and purity, both valued by all religions, including Islam.
My mother also, if I have a daughter, my mother, she said, why don't you make FGM your daughter? Aren't you Muslim?
Our government is committed to upholding the sexual and reproductive rights of women, and we intend to see female genital mutilation completely eradicated in Somalia.
Then if you say, Mama, FGM is normal, it is not related on religion, even if you want to ask the sheikh, then you are not going to tell me that lie. That is the lie. We are Muslim. Muslim has to do the FGM.
It's the elderly women who do it. the grandmothers is who are reinforcing. It's not the mothers, it's not the husbands, it's not the female, it's not the male who's doing, you know, I want a woman to be mutilated.
In our people, Somali people, they believe if the lady has no FGM, there is no man who is going to marry her.
Few of them are doing it for money. If you talk to them and say, why are you doing this? And they say, if you pay me, I will stop doing it. It's my business. I feed for my family. And the woman will bring me, and I'm not going to say no because I'm making the money. So it's a financial issue is also there. It's a lot of aspects to need be covered, but education is the key.
Women, if you ask why you use FGM, they said, my daughter, if I did not make FGM, the people, they may say she's not Muslim also. If you ask the religion people, they say it is not related to the Muslim FGM and Muslim, there is no any relationship. So women also, you cannot, you can live without FGM. Religion, it doesn't have any problem about the FGM. So the people, they need some people to persuade about the FGM.
We are trying to not get used to it, the horrible things they were doing for the last 20 years, and it takes a while. We're working in a side effect side, so they can see what's the problem, instead of saying, stop, you cannot do it, what you're accustomed to do for all your life.
Yes, you are Muslim. And again, you are not doing FGM with your daughter. But is there any problem between the Muslim religion and FGM? That makes sense. Some people, then they said, before we will not have any information about this, we used to say, if you have no FGM, you are not Muslim. So if our religion allows us not to circumcise our ladies, this is also is fine.
So I hope that I was able to shed some light on a very dark topic for you all. While researching this, I thought it was interesting that different cultures seem to say the men require it here. The older women make me do it in this culture. So I thought it was interesting to see their verbal responses from different types of people, but this kind of all stems from the same place. So I wanted to open this time up for any questions that anybody has. Anybody? All right, well, thank you guys for listening and very good.